All right, Ted Olson, who is arguing for Apple on resisting authorities' attempt to demand that phone be opened up here, or the slippery slope it could lead to other phones being opened up here. But is it that direct or that simple? I was arguing to Mr. Olson, and some of you arguing, like 2-1, I guess, judging our email, not very forcefully, that it's just this phone. It's just trying to understand whether the perpetrators behind the San Bernardino attacks had any help. Get that off of this particular device. The authorities who own that phone have already said that it's okay with them, so I don't see how this suddenly then becomes a constitutional crisis. John Hanna is the former National Security Advisor, the former Vice President Dick Cheney. John, am I missing something here? I grant you I'm not a lawyer, not even close, but I tend to look at this very simply, and it's this phone, get the information on it fast.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on this case, Neil. I think that given what we've had happen here, we've gone through a court order, Apple has had its day, and a court has said in this particular case, we need that information. It is a matter of national security. They've weighed the pros and cons, and that's where the balance lies. I would say that on the question of universal encryption and the dangers of particularly foreign intelligence services being able to get into all of our phones or being able to order Apple in China, that we've got a list of 5 or 6 people here we're terribly concerned about who are conducting activities against our government. We want you to open their phones, and we've got a legal court order here in China to do that. That does raise concerns for me, so I don't think this is necessarily a black or white issue. But in this case, I say open the phone.
Yeah, my only issue here, let's try to justify this after the fact, and I'm very respectful of Mr. Olson and all he's been through and his incredible arguments before the Supreme Court many times. But in this one, I don't see it having to necessarily become this constitutional argument here. We know it's not an ethereal type issue. We know it's a phone that was involved by someone who was in a terrorist attack on U.S. soil, and that's why I argue one and done with this case. I very well understand the fears. These things are never one and done. But in this case, is there a way you can, or a good technician or someone from Apple, download that information, put it on a zip drive, anything that can go to authorities to say, all right, here's all the information you need, have at it?
Yeah, I think Apple ought to be able to do that. If they can't do it, if they think it is impossible, and this inevitably leads to the slippery slope, I think the burden's got to be on them and their genius lawyers, people like Ted Olson, to prove that in an open court of law. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe they can do it. I still do worry, though, about even the precedent of a single case being a government being able to say we've gone through court and you need to order this specific phone. I do worry about the precedent that sets, not because I'm worried about our own agencies here in the United States, but about what kinds of new powers this gives foreign governments, particularly hostile foreign governments, to go after political dissidents and peoples that they consider enemies that would certainly violate our sense of due process here in the United States.
That's a very good point, John. I think you would have argued a lot better. John Hanna, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you.